Dune has been the most influential movie I've seen in the last few years. The movie's soundtracks were exceptional, yet I couldn't help but feel that there was a missed opportunity. They could have added a techno track to capture the wild and futuristic essence of the Dune world. But today, my fellow Freemen, we are going to fix that. I know two other people who are as excited as me when it comes to Dune. Let me call them and see if they want to collab with me on this track as well.
Hey Alice, how's it going?
It's going good, Daniel. How is it with you?
Good, you caught me on my walk.
I have an idea that I want to share with you. I'm going to start a new track influenced by Dune movies, and I know that you're as excited as me when it comes to Dune. So, do you want to collab?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm super down. You want to just kind of approach it like we did the Tide?
I have some vocal ideas in mind.
Okay, cool. I'll plug it into our schedule and then we can just take it from there. Shoot me the vocal idea when you get a chance because I'm super interested in that. All right.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
When I think about Dune, I always remember that particular scene when the Harkonnen ships descends from the sky and you can feel the horror. Everything looks so tiny compared to the ships. So I wanted to reflect on this scene. I started searching for samples and vocals and presets and you name it, everything. I had nothing after hours and hours of searching through different samples and preset packs until I come across to this sample.
Descending into deep time. Silver luminous discs spinning.
I liked the vibe, but it was too childlike, so I wanted to change it. I first pitched up a little bit.
Descending into deep.
And the main trick is using pitch monster, so we have these different type of voices coming in and out.
Descending into deep time.
It makes it like good and bad fighting. And then of course a bit compression and distortion.
Descending into deep time.
And finally a little bit reverb, we had this.
Descending into deep time.
And then we sampled the tail and reversed it.
Descending into deep time.
Makes it a bit more epic. And final touch, adding the O's.
Descending into deep time.
The first thing, of course, nailing the low end. We wanted to have this groovy but very driving low end. First a smooth kick from my Smooth Kicks 2 sample pack. And answering sub bass. Already have groove over here. But the most important trick is having another bass layer a bit higher and having even another groove slightly different than our sub bass groove. This one goes like this. And this one goes like this. And that will make the groove extremely driving. And later on, when we add everything else, we realize that we need a bit more top layer. And the boys added these two. A slight step. And now we have this beautiful low end. From here, it is straightforward. First a clap, and just simple driving heads. And of course, we have to reflect that Dune, warm and mysterious ambience. Unfortunately, everything is frozen because we were sending back and forth frozen files. First this. Right? Noise, texture and the pads are layered on top of each other. Quite rich. All together. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform where you can find thousands of different classes to learn from. For example, I have taken Premiere Pro classes, I have taken cinematography classes, I have taken lighting classes from Skillshare, and probably you have noticed that the quality of my videos went up quite a bit lately. If you want to try it yourself and see if it works for you, check the description below. There is a link there, and the first 1,000 people who click the link get a free month of a trial for Skillshare. Main idea with the synths were making them aggressive, at the same time making them also a bit mysterious. For example here. And of course, to balance this one, we have the aggressive version. And we have also a B part. And To glue everything together, you need a smooth arpeggio on the background. And together, we have this. If you're enjoying the video up to now, please consider like and subscribe. When we listened to the track again, we felt like something was missing, something that would enhance the feeling of the war, the panic, and the loss.
So at the beginning of the first Dune movie, the very first scene, the first thing that you hear is this really dark, brooding, aggressive vocal. Highly compressed, raw vocal chant type thing. And that's something that we wanted to bring into the track. So when we did the drop, we wanted to make sure that there was something organic and inorganic about the sound. And that's how we came up with the wah.
So I wanted to make a lead sound something almost like a horn, but more scary. It sounds like this. But let's take off all the effects. Now it's much simpler. It's two wavetables stacked on top of each other. The first one is providing the bass, and the second one is the aggressive one. The main thing over here is actually using function a bit more creatively. In function 2, we have this weird shape and actually modulates the both engines' pitch. Without that, pitch modulation gives that epic ambience. This filter over here distorts the sound a bit more. It's a comp filter. Without it, cleaner. With this one, a bit more dirtier. And then we have the function 3, and this is slightly on cutoff. It makes it a bit more unstable. The magic happens when you use a lot of distortion and multiband compression on top of this. And one more layer. Now we are using OTD to even squash the dynamics out. And the movement also comes due to the cutoff automations here. You will see that the EQ is also automated. It then just to cut off the tail. And the most interesting one over here, probably autopan, both amount and rate is automated, so it gives us weird slapping effects at the end. I have copied the same synth 3 times and all 3 is different. Every time I want a different pitch automation, I need to create different function. Hence, this is the reason I duplicated these times. You will see that it's slightly different. And the 3 is even more different. Of course, the notes are a bit different here as well. And one final trick was just adding cinematic drums to support that epic ambience. These are really just splice samples. Really cool.
Descending into deep time. Silver luminous discs spinning. Planets merging into the darkest black. Stars twinkling like phosphorescent algae. Merging. 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 Descending into deep time.
If you want to deep dive into this project and try the samples and presets yourself for a really short amount of time, anybody who buys this track on Beatport and sends the receipt to contact@mercurials.com will receive the full projects and the presets. It's hard to explain everything in a short video, but you can really digest it on your own speed when you get the project. Only available for a few weeks, don't miss it. If you want to learn more about music production, I have more of these here. Take a look.